broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Baby hair with baby hair and afro. I like my Negro nose with Jackson 5 nostrils.
Hey.
I just tripped like Beyonce.
Shut up.
It's like the most momentous thing that happened at the Super Bowl yesterday.
But she caught it. Like, she really did a great job.
Of course she caught it.
Yeah.
It's
Beyonce.
Beyonce, yes.
Of course she did.
I could just dance to this all day.
Me too. Well, welcome, AfterBuzzers, to another awesome episode of Lifetime's Bring It. I am your host, English Cleveland, and I am joined by my favorite ladies of Monday.
Oh, that's really sweet of you. Thanks, English. I am Robin Ayers.
I'm Tamara Brown. Find me on Twitter at Brown Tamara.
Hey, Brown Tamara.
Immediately
Brown
with the plug.
Tamara, right?
Hey, that's what I'm saying.
Girl,
As
gotta
you
get it in
should.
there.
Swag.
Right, swag. You got hot sauce in your purse. So this episode is season 3, episode 6, The Wicked Witch of Jackson. Which is, I don't know. I had a lot of issues with this episode before we get into it.
Okay.
But I don't know. How did you guys feel overall?
Well, you have me curious now. You can't just throw it out there and like leave cliffhangers.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll say I really liked it because it was the Halloween episode, and with all of the theatrics, actually, just as we were saying, we were talking about the Super Bowl halftime real quick, and like loved it but slightly disappointed because there just wasn't as many theatrics as there were the previous year with Katy Perry and just fire and the giant elephant she rode in on and things like that. On the elephant you rode in on, but it just lacked a little bit of that. Mm-hmm. But this episode, I really loved all of the cool Halloween effects and stuff like that, and I was like, man, I really want to go see. I want to see one of these shows sometimes, one of these competitions at Halloween. That would be an amazing thing to check out live.
Yeah. Live. So. Well, like you said, mentioned last week in News and Gossip, they are going on a live stage tour. Which we can discuss a little bit later. Mm-hmm. Let's get into this episode. So last week, the girls lost. They just didn't have all what it took. And this week, they're like, you know what? We need to make up for this. So we're going to get really creative. We're dancing against our biggest rivals, which is the Purple Diamonds. I was so excited. And maybe that's why I was a little bit upset, because I was a little let down with the performance of the dolls this week. But I was super excited to finally see the rivalry of the Purple Diamonds like we see every season. Okay. But this week, we got a chance to see 2 of the former dolls join the Purple Diamonds.
Yeah, so is that why you were excited, I guess, this week? Is just because it added a little bit more fuel to the fire?
Yes.
Okay.
I was a lot more excited, and then I was let down. But we can get into all that. I know you guys are like, why are you feeling?
Come on, speak your
spill the
mind.
beans. I know. So,
Building it up.
The Purple Diamonds, as we know, their hometown is Jackson, Mississippi as well. Miss D mentioned that they've had an issue of girls going back and forth between the Purple Diamonds and the dolls. And so one of my favorite dancers, Tamia, who's fantastic, who I've watched ever since the show has started. Yeah. And I've always noticed her as being a star, but was never in the spotlight. She is now a part of the Purple Diamonds. And so it's just interesting to see her in the costumes and, you know, repping PD when it used to be DD4L.
Yeah, it's got to be a little weird. I mean, I think about when I was a cheerleader for a brief amount of time. When I was in school, y'all know, I just got the funniest stories. But when I was in school, and then we would have and we were known as like the cheer squad to beat. You know, our school was just like on top. I mean, because we had it like that, right?
Right.
Then, for whatever reasons, a girl might go and change schools, and then to compete against, or even if we're not literally just like competing, you know, every rivalry has that like halftime battle when you're on the, you know, on the floor, cheer squads. But even if it was just we're sitting here on the bleachers and we're watching them, and it's just like, oh my gosh, the weirdest feeling in the world to watch someone who was once with you now as a rival team, you know.
Right.
So I'm sure that feeling has got to be weird, because you know that the dolls, being that Tamia and Zatia were on, you know, the dolls for a good amount of time. I'm sure they made friends, you know, with the dolls. So it's got to be really awkward for the girls. So I really didn't like that, you know, the adults, the coaches were making them, you know, pitting them against each other. Exactly. That's just got to be a little bit tough.
Right. And that is another reason why this week I was just like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, I see outside of, you know, the show, they're actually really friends. They all hang out with each other. They still do, you know, fun things outside of dancing together. Yeah. And so you have to feel a certain type of way. Like, you know, like, say, for instance, you're not part of AFTERBUZZ, even though we know you ain't gonna leave, girl, because you repping it all the way today, girlfriend. Right. You ain't going nowhere.
She's taking her promotional photos today.
But then you start bashing AFTERBUZZ, and you and I are friends in real life. I'm gonna feel some type of way, because I'm like, AFTERBUZZ was our family. Like, how could you get that dirty, you know?
Right, exactly.
But obviously we did get a chance to see that it was all about the coaches, and they were in their feelings.
Sure, yeah.
So crazy. But beyond the purple diamonds, we get to see the Divas in Motion, Pretty in Pink, Columbus Jags, and the Pink Ladies also compete this week against the dolls.
And but we don't really see much of those other teams, like the Pink Ladies.
Yeah, no, we didn't get to see them.
They basically just name them.
Yeah.
But I wonder if, you know, because this has happened before, where Coach D says that other teams are going to be there, and then for whatever reason they don't show. I wonder if that was the case this time.
Yeah,
or if they just didn't get any camera time.
They probably didn't get camera time. Like, this is an hour show.
Yeah,
we have to see the hallway drama. We have to see like
that's true.
The black roses.
Yes,
that's
like
true.
all of that is ridiculous. But this week the ladies are dancing in the Buck Up or Fall Back Halloween themed competition.
Love it.
They are doing creative dance as well as stand. Miss D had a fantastic idea, which we have seen talking about halftime shows and different performances on football fields. The glow in the dark theme. It always looks like fantastic and dramatic and super creative, just to see all these moving pieces create these formations and just shapes and all these things.
When I saw it, when they rehearsed the neon, you know, creative thing at the hall or the dollhouse, thank you. When they rehearsed it wasn't, I know, I'm tripping. Okay, it wasn't as impactful. I was just like, oh, okay, this is gonna fall flat. As soon as I saw it, and then it was a completely different thing. But I think that they only practiced with maybe the hands at the dollhouse, and then it was the full blown thing. So I was really, really
because those are
impressed.
Those are hard to. My dance team tried for a while. We wanted to do some big glow in the dark number. And those like tubey things that they had swirled on their costume. Those are like when you're buying them in bulk, they get expensive, and then you got to sew them on and stuff like that. So like they probably weren't ready. And those glove things, I haven't used those type of gloves exactly, but I've used other like glow things that have other switches on them, and you have to like keep it on the. They kept saying they wanted to keep it on the green setting, and it would accidentally switch. Like, I've had that problem before. It's a hard thing to do a glow dance. It's so worth it when it works out, but it's a hard thing to pull off.
Like the parents were saying, like, if you see them make a mistake, you definitely see it. Like, there's no leeway, in which, you know, quite honestly, for me, I saw a ton of mistakes. Even though it looked great and visually, like, it's beautiful, and, you know, just to see the girls move and stuff like that, but a lot of them were off, like completely off.
Well, I mean, therein lies the issue with the new girls. I mean, it's not necessarily an issue, but they're going to grow.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying we can clearly see that there are some, you know, kind of mishaps with the new girls versus the vets.
Absolutely.
But again, like I say, every episode, I didn't get to see it as much as I wanted to. Like, the glow dance would show for a second and then cut to Miss D standing there watching it. And I'm like, why are we seeing her watch it more than we're seeing the actual dance? It drives me nuts.
I mean, can we get a representative from Lifetime? Tell us. I mean, is there something that we're missing? I would like to know, because why aren't you guys showing the entire dance? We don't get it. We want to have an opinion about it.
We are fans.
But you know what? At the same time, you guys, they're writers. You guys are the fans, are sending us. Are you guys getting this footage? Like,
yes.
I'm getting this footage?
Yes, I am.
They're sending these links of the videos, and I appreciate it because maybe I don't have the time to go and like do all this research, but they're so good.
Yes, they are.
I'm going to find some. I'm about to shout somebody out because
they're giving us what we're asking for, which is appreciative, but it's like we've already recapped episodes. So I wish we could have a chance or get a chance to see these things before we're talking about it. So then we as fans can really give a full feedback and say, you know what, the dolls deserve to win, or you know, this team deserved to win. But like I said, from what I saw, I felt like they were off a lot. But anyways, you know, that, like you said, it's the new girls, and so they're having issues. And with the new girls, Miss D had to bring out the clipboard this week. She did.
I thought the way she brought it out was hilarious. She was yelling. She was like, as a matter of fact, hold on a second.
She definitely was not playing any games with it. The girls, they seemed like their energy was very low. Yeah. They were fatigued. Mm-hmm. They are tired, like we talked about last week. Like, they're super tired. They're not getting a chance to take breaks. They're not getting a chance to, you know, just be normal girls, which is what they signed. But when have they ever? Right. When have they ever? But this is new girl. These are new girls. So I think
get with the program.
But I think in our head we're so used to, or my head, if I could just speak for myself, I'm so used to seeing the girls be on top of their game. Right. That each week the frustration level gradually increases, because I'm like, oh my gosh, get with the program, like, what's going on?
But then see, we had the opportunity of first seeing the dolls when they were already in the game. They had skin in the game because these girls had grown up with the dolls, you know what I'm saying? So they had their mishaps already and their trials and their errors, but now we're getting to see sort of the beginning of like the new girls, you know what I mean? So it's a little bit different. It's a lot different, actually.
And also this week, like, there was no parade like there's been the two previous ones. There was no extra thing. The babies weren't involved. So it was kind of an easier week. I mean, you know, I know this, just being on the squad is a difficult thing.
Right.
But
do you guys think that a lot of this also has an issue to do with, would it be a difference if Kayla was still the captain in opposed to Cameron being the captain? From what I noticed, Cameron is very lackadaisical. And she isn't as, forceful, or her presence isn't as known as Kayla was.
So
does that reflect the team?
Yes. Two things come with being a captain. Two things that you need. Mm-hmm. You need talent, because people are following you, and you need to be a motivator / inspirator or inspirer or whatever you call it. You need to have that. You know, there's something that comes with being in the forefront, because it's like this. Okay. Cam Newton. Did you guys watch the Super Bowl?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So Cam, I was so team Cam, right? I was really like, okay, let's do this, blah, 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 whatever.
See those end zone dances.
I wanted to see at least one, you know? I mean, but okay, I'm not going to go there. But this is what I will say. He lost his heart. Yeah. And he, there was a play, I forgot what happened, but there was a play where he was so disappointed in that play. He literally fell on the ground, if you guys remember that.
Yes.
It was like, Cam, if you don't get up, because your team is watching you, you have to have heart. You have to know when to say, listen, no, let's pull it together. And like, you got to be a beast out there.
People like to me, your team or your squad has to almost kind of be scared of you or intimidated. Like your presence.
Or you have to be the sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Like you have to be the one who they're looking up to.
Yeah.
You know, even if they don't fear you, it's sort of like that respect. Like, wow, I like the way you do that, and it makes me want to line up.
Yeah.
Robin is the motivator's motivator.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. You guys,
inspiration.
if you guys ever want some inspiration, you guys can go find Robin at RobinAyers.com.
Leadership Academy.
She is always motivating and always uplifting people. And you know, 1000%, you're right. Maybe they should have thought about, you know, Ms. D should have thought about that. Cameron's great. She's a great dancer. We've seen her grow. But also
she is just kind of quiet.
She is quiet, and too much is given, much is required.
Exactly.
And I don't think that she understands. I think she just keeps saying, you know, well, the dolls have my back. Girl, if nobody has your back, you have to have your own back. You don't have to, don't move just because people have your back and they're standing and rooting for you. Stand alone. Let these people know who you are.
Exactly. So the question is, and I don't remember, you guys are going to have to help me out, but when we first started, when the show first came on, was Kayla always the captain?
Yes.
Okay. So again, that's something else that we didn't see. We didn't see when Kayla was first starting off as captain. We saw her at her growth.
Right.
We saw her, I don't want to say at her peak, but she was there.
Cameron's been on the team, she's only known Kayla as captain.
Yeah. And so what I'm saying is she's probably has her own. Am I just over talking everybody?
No.
I'm doing okay.
You're fine.
I feel like it. I'm sorry, but
Shut
I
up,
think
Robin.
that she.
Oh, you're so sad, Tamara.
I'm sorry. Am I okay? I'll be quiet after
fine.
this.
Don't worry about it.
Okay,
Go,
so
girl.
my
Keep
thing
going.
is, I feel like we are seeing Cameron at her very beginning stages, and we weren't able to see Kayla at her beginning stages.
Yeah.
So we gotta give her some sort of slack. Like, okay, well, you have some growth to do, and I'm sure she'll do it. She's just got to come into her own.
But some people are natural born leaders and some people just aren't.
Yeah, I think Kayla was a natural born leader.
Exactly. Do you think that people that are born naturally a leader need to have this position, and some people, even though that they are good at what they do, maybe they just don't have what it takes to be in that position? We don't have time. For me, I don't have time to watch somebody grow. I need us to be the bomb every single week.
But that being said, I mean, Miss D made her captain. The girls.
But wait, she wasn't the first choice, so we forgot about this.
That's
what happened?
Tamia
Remind
was
me.
was the captain,
That's right.
and whatever happened between Miss D and Tamia's family in the fight or whatever that broke out in the parking lot, Tamia ended up leaving the dolls to the Purple Diamonds. So Cameron was actually second best. She wasn't the first.
Why you say it like that?
No, I'm just saying, like, we have to remind ourselves that she wasn't actually the person that was chosen. She tried out. She tried out against Tamia.
Yeah.
She tried out just as well as all the other girls.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
I
get it. I get
You
it.
reminded me of that. Thank you.
Yeah. If
English
I were
has
on
it
a
out
team,
for Cameron today.
No. I just want to see what other people think, and you know, as well as the viewers out there. You guys let me know how you think. I know I have a lot of questions this week, but I think it's beneficial because we don't get a chance to see all of the stands. We don't get a chance to see all the footage that we should be seeing.
Right.
Maybe you guys get a chance to see something that we're not seeing.
Exactly.
So with these questions and with true fans, it's, you know, I'm just trying to, you know, provoke everyone to get involved and understand. And so if that's the case, you guys need to go onto our YouTube channel, subscribe, as well as go onto iTunes, rate our show, give us 5 stars, let us know what you think, as well as tweeting us all the time.
Real quick shout out to Allie on Twitter, because she's very involved.
Yes.
Allie, she gives us a whole recap.
Yep.
And she's in Australia.
Yes. So thank you, Allie. We love you, Allie.
Every week. week. She
Every week.
never fails. And shout out to all of our fans that were missing us when we had to take a few days before we were able to shoot, our last episode. You guys were tweeting and DMing me on Instagram and on Twitter like, hey, are you guys, where's Bring It this week? Where's Bring It? So we apologize for taking a little bit of a break, but we get busy here. I was sick. Everyone's life.
Oh, yeah. How you
just
feeling?
crazy
Going
stuff. I
on.
feel better. I mean, I'm still congested, but other than
You
that.
can't hear it. You sound beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Natural.
Okay,
has
so
that
before
natural
I make my
sultry voice.
statement that I was going to say, I do want to say to CJ from 910 on Instagram, constantly sending me, like,
Yes.
I love this, and I can't show you guys, but it's like link after link after link after video after video, so it's really cool, and
Yeah.
I feel like I'm caught up. So CJ from 910, thank you. If I were on a team, right, I want... If whoever was in the forefront, I would rather you be a beast than talented.
Right.
I would rather you be like rowdy or something, or just like know how to come
Like
with it,
intimidating.
or passionate
Yeah.
than talented. Like, you don't have to be the best dancer,
Right.
because I got that. I'm just saying, like, if I were on a
Girl,
team,
we know you
I
got
would
that.
have that.
Yeah. Okay.
I would have it, but it's like, and I'm sure the team will hold that person down, but it's like, okay, just give us the sign,
Yeah.
just give us the go,
I get you,
the
but it's hard to listen to somebody, like, if you're saying that they're not the strongest dancer on the team telling you what to do. If they yelled at me, I'd be like, what are you trying to say? I don't know how you do
I don't
Right.
think so. I would disagree with, but I hear what you're saying, but I disagree, because it's like, to be just a talent sitting there with just I don't want to listen to that person either.
No, that's exactly
you
what I mean.
gotta-
I don't want to
you gotta have
listen to
both.
anyone that's great. I need presence. I need you
Yes.
to demand the floor,
Yeah.
demand everyone's attention, whether it's the fans, the people that are watching you, as well as your colleagues.
Yeah.
That people that are on the floor, they want to listen to you because they
Yeah.
know that you have all the answers. And if you don't have all the answers, you still act like you have all the
Yeah.
answers.
And it must be hard at the dollhouse too, because Miss D is such a huge personality. You know, it's hard. It's hard when there's two. You can't have two voices competing all the time. So it must be hard. But I mean, I agree with what you all were saying.
Yeah, I feel like Cameron is still young, and she feels like she's in a grown person's sort of space. And so I think that's a great point, because Miss Diana is like, how do you even compete with that? How could I stand up? Like, okay, Miss D, you got it, Coach D, but she's got to understand at some point that Kayla actually came into. Kayla, she's, I guess, technically considered an adult now. Is she 18?
Yeah, she's in college, girl.
Yeah, so she's an adult.
She's a grown woman.
And she feels like, she can make those sort of calls, wherever Miss D doesn't have it, she could, kind of back her up.
Right. So, speaking of the other girls, they got cut this week. Miss D decided, I'm cutting everyone. The clipboard came out. I'm doing this. This is for real. And then we get a chance to see Dana, Miss D's old childhood friend, go in the office
Original doll.
and have a chit chat with her and just understand, Faith got cut. Why is Faith getting cut? What is the issue? All of that.
Dana belongs on Dance Moms, I think. Every episode, I'm like, she's one of those cutthroat moms.
Yeah.
She's the one that's got to go in there and think that just having a little conversation is going to work out to her favor.
Well, this week, I guess, in her
did,
defense,
but-
it did not for her, but all the parents thought that, it was because of, she's her childhood friend.
Yeah.
But, all the girls were added back into the group.
Well, I mean, according to Miss Diana, she was like, that wasn't the reason why. She
Right.
just wanted to add them
And I
back for
believe
visuals.
Miss Diane. I believe that it wasn't have to do that. I mean, because
maybe.
it was weird anyway. Like, she cuts the girls and then puts them back on. It was just like a strange. What was the point of that? Like, one of those weird plot points that it's like, we're just wasting time here with this.
It was
Cut
a
the
waste of
girls,
time. It was
and
totally a
then you
waste
put
of
them
time.
back on.
Speaking of waste of time, this whole Black Roses situation delivered to the dollhouse from Arthur was
Irritating.
really scary and eerie and disgusting.
Yeah, and I just don't like this type of thing. Like, this whole contrived producers hey, send some black roses over there. It's the perfect time. They're all in the dollhouse.
What did the guy? How did the guy act when he brought him in?
Wait,
he was like, Miss D, I found a package sitting outside for you.
Really?
Open it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you found the package. I was like, come on.
Right.
You know, it's just dumb. It's just dumb. It's useless. I mean, it's filler content.
Especially because they lost. The dolls beat them last year. So how are you gonna pretend like you're just talking big? Oh, this is because I'm sending black roses because I always send roses to a funeral.
Yeah,
or
like,
whatever he said.
It's just horrible.
It's just contrived. It's completely contrived.
And cheesy. It's like, ugh, like disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, go practice.
Yeah.
Instead of spending money on these stupid black roses, go spend some money on better costumes or better ideas.
See, I was gonna say that because we'll get there, but like their costumes were so boring.
Yeah. So let's get into the competition because we've been talking all about it and ain't even got into it. So the competition, creative wise, the dolls, like we said, are doing the glow in the dark theme. We have the Purple Diamonds doing a thriller theme, which we've seen before.
Yeah.
And I think the dolls did a thriller theme before, right?
That's what I want to say.
Yeah. The Columbus Jags did a superheroes kill zombie theme. And then, like we said, we didn't get a chance to see all the other girls and the other teams if they even showed up. And then for the stand battle, like we mentioned, the dolls are doing a theme of, you know, Zatia and Tamia were kicked off, and, you know, once a doll, always a doll kind of situation. Yeah. And then the dolls were doing a drama-filled or the Purple Diamonds were doing a drama-filled theme
with their actual uniforms.
With the actual uniforms, which we'll get into. So we get a chance to see the Jags go against the dolls first. Did they? Wait, I don't know if I wrote it down right. But we see the Jags go. They have a guy on their team. Did you guys notice that he had his belly button pierced?
Did he?
Yes. Super strange. I was like, whoa, let me rewind this. Did he have a belly button pierced? And Miss D was like, which her comments were interesting this week because she kept mentioning, you know, well, they just need to calm down. Why is that guy on the team like that? He just needs to have a seat somewhere.
It's funny because right before she said that, they do like a split leap in the air, and he goes high, like 6 feet in the air.
Yes, he did.
That it almost threw off the timing just because he jumps like twice as high as the other girls did, and then Miss D was like, he needs to take down that energy, and I guess
and I'm like, who are you to say that?
Like, stop giving us all that.
Yeah, like who are you to say that? How can you tell someone turn down energy? But like we said before, we really couldn't see the dolls. Like, we saw their glow in the dark situation. It was great for what it was. I saw a lot of mistakes, but we wish we could see more. So if anyone has any more footage, send it to us. Yeah, because it has to be, I mean, the idea is great. It's outside of the box. We saw a lot of zombies. We saw a lot of funerals and killings or zombies and all that.
I loved it. I loved all that. I loved the smoke. I loved the costumes. I liked the thriller dance. The Superman one was weird.
It was weird.
It didn't make a lot of sense. But,
yeah,
I loved them all. I want to see that live.
Yeah, live would have been cool. So then we see the Purple Diamonds against the dolls. And the issue that I had this week with the Purple Diamonds was their performance was overly sexual. With the white shirt and the stilettos and the cane. And like, what young girls wear white open like men's shirt with a cane?
We
like
talk
Destiny's
about this
Child
all the time when it comes to Bring It. I don't like it. If that were my kid, we would have an issue.
Oh, girl, she wouldn't. She would have to sit out.
It just, I'm like, she's not going to be dancing this week. Sorry,
No.
not like that.
No.
Or maybe she could have been. She could have been, with the theme, but dressed in a different type of outfit or something. But yeah, not my kid.
Yeah, they did have, and it's funny too because like as little as the cameras actually show of the dance, we did see some serious stripper moves. So. Yeah. I guess the dance was full of it. If they happened to catch a stripper move, then we know their dance must have been full of that.
Yeah. But did you guys catch that Kayla was in one of the dances, one of the stands? She had
what?
like on an Einstein like costume or like
I didn't see that.
something like she was dressed up like in a white wig.
In that, but I didn't notice her in the dance though.
I thought that when they showed her, because I saw her at one brief moment, it was a flashback. We're not talking about the flashback?
No, she was actually in it.
Oh, well, I don't know. Can she be 18 in it?
I guess. I mean, maybe they
don't know.
used her as like a special prop or something because of the theme. But she was actually in it, and I was like, wait, Kayla's there, but they didn't mention anything about it. So it just seems like there's a lot of this behind the scenes, and it's very interesting to think as an editor, what are you putting together as an episode?
Storyline?
Because there's a lot more happening that we get a chance to see in the background that we were like, whoa, what happened there? What happened there? We wish we could see more of this. Yeah. But this is what you guys decided to put together as the episode to present to us.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we had to throw in the mom's costume contest.
Yeah.
Going into seeing them show off their costumes in the mom's room. That was
DDP just has to be a part of it every week.
Silly.
They just but we could kind of do without them because sometimes I'm like, this scene was so dry and it fell so flat that it's like, I wish I could have saw more.
Just, for the most part, that's where they try to get their drama from, and talking about not Zatia's Tawanza, talking about the mom Tawanza, and it's just like this whole thing that, of course, they try to go against Dana. That's a whole storyline in and of itself. But it is interesting what's going on in the story, like in the room where they're putting together the storyline. I just would like to know, because you're right, we are seeing things. We're like, wait, why didn't you guys throw that in there? You know, because we're just seeing it as an outcome, but it's not a part of the story.
Right.
So very strange, because we could have done without the dead black roses or whatever. We could have done without certain things.
And we see them in those funny costumes, which that scene was entertaining. I mean, I don't hate it. It's just another like clearly written scene. But then at the actual competition, they're all in different costumes too. So it was just kind of like,
what was the point
what was that?
of?
Yeah, what was that?
What was that?
Exactly. Yeah. So another thing Ms. D got upset about, which we don't really get to see Ms. D really upset about things other people do. Like she got upset about that guy dancing super wild. Yeah. He was great though.
Yeah.
Beyond his belly button. And then she got upset with the purple diamonds stance that they threw, which we've seen Miss D and the dolls play dirty sometimes too. That's just the nature of the beast. But we see.
I was thinking there's the once a doll always a doll was a little. I thought that was a little unfair. But then and then they topped it by stomping on their costumes.
Right.
Yeah.
So we see them, the girls that were former dolls, take off whatever costumes that they have, throw it on the ground, and stomp on it and kick it and throw it, which to me, that's what you're going to do with your rivalry. That you're just letting them know who you are. Like, I'm not here for it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, for Coach D to like literally 2 episodes ago, I think it was 2 episodes where she smacked Neva the Diva, or the pretend to be Neva the Diva, on the football field
and pulled off the wig.
Yeah, like
that's defaming someone's character and who they are, telling they're ugly, they look like a man, like all of this stuff.
Yeah, that's dirty. That's playing dirty. So like, to me, it's just surprising that her ultimate disrespect is you throwing and stomping on the costumes. That's really strange to me. Like, oh, that is considered the pinnacle for you.
Yeah. I thought that that with the purple diamonds though, they would have given us more. And maybe we didn't get a chance to see, but we didn't get a chance to see more of the dancing. I thought, with them having these new girls on there, they would have like a lot more energy and a lot of formations and just different creativity. Yeah. But a lot of it was based on around, you know, making fun of the other team and the dolls as well. And that's a little bit why I was like, this episode wasn't that great because it was just throwing shade back and forth to each other instead of showing them what you have. You know, bring it out on the dance floor and give us your all, and then be like, oh my gosh, they're fantastic dancers.
I think in general, we're always just, every point we're making, we're just saying, like, can we focus on the dancing a little bit more? Like, there's so much heavy. This show is so driven on the personalities, which is good. I mean, we love all of the characters. We love their personalities, but are we wrong? Like, doesn't everybody want to see more dancing? Like, focus a little bit more on the dancing? Like, that's what it's about. So
it is about that. And I feel like you made a great point, English. It's like, okay, why do you even have to go prove, you know, throw shade at the next team? Like, so that makes me think that's a producer note. That's a producer saying, hey, I want you guys to, you know, do this against the other team, and I want you guys to do this against the dolls. That's what that makes me feel like, because I feel like you don't have anything to prove. Just go out there and handle your business, and don't even trip. Like, don't even trip. Like, it's okay. Like, and then all the better. Like, we're on your minds like that, where you got to throw shade at us. Like, that's fine. Cute. Yeah, that's cute. It doesn't even faze us. Like, we're doing our own thing.
Yeah, keep the costumes. We got new ones this year anyway. Yeah, exactly. You know, like, we're doing better than that.
Exactly.
We don't have time to be stumping on your costumes.
Right.
Because we have one of the girls that was on the Purple Diamonds on the dolls now.
Yeah. Who was that?
Did they say?
Wait, was it Faith? Was she?
If it was,
I don't know if it was. I know she came in from somewhere else, but I don't know if it was with the Purple Diamonds or not.
Yeah, I can't remember either. If you guys know, let us know. But we have a girl that was formerly a Purple Diamond. Like, what if we brought out her costume or dressed up and did something? Like, just leave it alone. Yeah. It's silly.
Yeah.
But it, like we said, it was interesting to see Miss Diana get so upset about it.
Yeah.
But overall, the dolls win creative. So they're creative light show,
and they should have.
They should have.
They won.
Agree.
Yeah, it was the most creative out of everyone else that was there.
It was.
And then the dolls win the stand battle as well.
Yay, dolls!
So dolls, they made a recovery. So good job, girls.
Yeah, they did really well.
So let's get into some news and gossip.
AFTERBUZZ TV News.
Let's see. What news and gossip do we have this week? Miss D was actually out here in California for the
NAACP. Yeah. And she seemed to really be enjoying herself. She was like the sunshine. So Miss D, like, if you love LA like that, come with it. Like, do something out here. Bring something official, like permanently out here. That would be kind of cute.
Right. Yeah. She did a lot of like what you do, the Facebook style of periscoping. And so it was really good to just see her around the city. She was in Hollywood a lot. And it's so funny whenever people, you know, come out here, whenever they experience California, they're like, oh my gosh, you guys have so many homeless people. And so I did know that she mentioned she was just like so taken back, and she kept mentioning different homeless people that she met, and she told her husband, who also came with her, that she wanted to, you know, start some kind of foundation or be a part of something for the outreach for homeless.
That's great.
And so, you know, I think it's great. We do have such a, you know, I think we have like the most between us in New York. Like, we have a lot of homeless people here, and so it's needed.
Because of the weather. We do have the most, and Southern California has the biggest homeless population in all of the nation. We got into like a serious issue.
Even though it's serious, I mean, it was nice to see her see something that we get a chance to see every day. She seemed like she really enjoyed the NAACP awards. I did get a chance to see some of our AfterBuzzers and people, our sister channel, Black Hollywood Live, interviewed her on the carpet. So you guys go check our sister channel, Black Hollywood Live, and see some of the interviews that they did from the NAACP awards. You looked beautiful, Miss D. I know your husband was writing saying that he was nervous to meet all these people and be on the carpet, but I'm sure you guys had fun and did a great job.
That's very cute.
Do you guys have any more news and gossip?
Well, you wanted to elaborate on something that you guys talked about last week.
Yes, so last week Tamara mentioned that the dolls were going on tour. So I was thinking, you know, like every summer they do like the Summer Jam tour where they go around to different cities and teach kids in their local high school gyms or, you know, auditoriums, you know, some dances and have like a summer camp. Well, actually, the girls are going on a tour, just like Beyonce. But it may not be the Formation tour, but it's the Bring It Live tour. They're going with an audience and everything, and they're just going and doing different stands and different dances.
Because one of our YouTube commenters said it's like they did in season 1.
No, they didn't. They didn't do a
they're
tour.
Advertising this as the first live tour they've ever done.
Yeah, so they're doing it just like any other performer.
Yeah,
but they're not coming to LA. They released on the website. It has the dates. It's kind of weird because they released the cities, and all of the cities are in the South where they perform anyway.
Right.
So they're not really going anywhere that they don't normally go.
I wonder if it has anything production-wise to do with the fact of I know, like, even when TV shows tape, it's cheaper down south.
Way
so like
cheaper.
LA is like really expensive to film anything, tape anything, or whatever. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
And they
but-
probably do a demographic reading of where their audience is,
I'm
who's
sure.
watching majority of the show.
Yeah.
And even though we're in California and we love it, a lot of the people relate to the show from the South. The style of dancing that they do is very, Southern traditional. And so that's probably why.
Yeah, I guess I'm always just like surprised that they don't come out to California more because, I don't know, I would think that the girls would want to do some sort of like commercial audition or something like that just once. But they don't seem to be interested in anything. And I guess it's kind of refreshing too that they're not, I don't know, they don't seem to be trying to
become
Be
stars.
Hollywood.
Become Hollywood, yeah.
Because they're like, we are stars.
Yeah.
Bring it.
Right.
Just kidding.
They don't need Hollywood. Hollywood needs them. But Hollywood does need them. I want them to come out here so I can see them live once.
So she could get out there and twerk with y'all.
Yeah,
Bow,
or
bow.
they can teach you the death drop. Right.
I gotta learn it.
Do you guys have any predictions? Can we get into some predictions?
And now, your AfterBuzz TV
Predictions.
Tamara.
Oh man, I don't think I ever have predictions for this part. No, you know what? I'm gonna retract. Before I said that I think Star and Sky aren't gonna make it through the season, but I don't know. They're trucking along. Nothing's happened.
We
yet.
barely
I guess they're
saw
gonna
them this week, so I don't know.
They at least mentioned their names this episode, which they haven't done in the past couple. So
Yeah.
they're sticking around.
So I'm going to predict that someone, a mom, is going to get into it with Miss Diana for production's sake, just to stir it up a little bit. Maybe somebody's going to get kicked off the team again. I don't know. I'm just going to throw it out there. Hopefully not hopefully, maybe it'll stick. I don't want you guys to like have drama. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I know my prediction last week was that Star and Sky probably weren't a part of the dolls anymore, just because we haven't seen them a lot. I did rewind to make sure that I saw one of them this past week, and I did see only one of them. I don't know which one because they are twins, and so you have twins, so I'm sure you don't get your girls mixed up. But it's so hard for me to like differentiate which twin it is.
Yeah.
And Selena said this episode when they put Faith and the other dancers back into the stand battle, Selena was like, Star and Sky are back in.
She did.
Right. But I don't know. For some reason, maybe I know that they sing. That's another thing for news and gossip. I know that Sanjay had mentioned that they sing, and with their dad's show that they're on singing
YouTube.
on it on YouTube that they're singing on. So maybe they're gonna decide to go into a singing career in opposed to dancing.
Maybe this was being used as a stepping stone for, a platform or something like that for them to kind of get their names out there.
Right.
Maybe.
Who knows? We
We'll
never
see.
know,
We
but
gotta
we'll
see
see.
them more if that's the case.
And we
Tell
can't
me who
wait.
you are, girls.
Right. We can't wait to see you guys next week. I am your host, English Cleveland. It has been such a great time sitting and chit-chatting with you guys again. This has been an awesome time. You guys can always find me on Instagram at Pink English, as well as on Twitter, English Speaks.
And definitely look me up on Instagram, Twitter. I am at Robin Ayers. You can comment. I will always comment back.
Me too. I'm Tamara Brown, and you'll find me on Twitter at Brown Tamara and on Instagram at Tamara_blue. And send me your videos on Instagram. I love following dance accounts if y'all are dancers.
Yes. Until then, see you guys next week.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AFTERBUZZTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AFTERBUZZ TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.